Ah, I fucked up. I fucked up my screen. Hang on, I'm facing it. There we go. Now I can do mine. I was just jamming to the beats. What's up, y'all? What's good? Happy Tuesday. It's me, Crystal, co-founder of the Tales of the Forgotten Fiction Network. It is the live listen party for Vampire Beginnings, episode 5. 2 episodes after this. 2 episodes. I feel like we're like just tearing through this so fast. Like, what is time? What is time that we are already on episode 5? Woo! This is a good one. What you guys think of episode 4? Did you like it? Did you like it? Such fun. All right. For the after show tonight, Tara, Kels, Synaptic, you're absolutely invited to join us for the after show. It is being hosted by the incredible JV, who is also an excellent host. If you guys have any questions, come with your questions. Love that. Get your friends in here. Grab your adult beverages. And let's see if everything works the way I want it to work all the time. We're going to find out right now. I'm going to go away, and we're going to jump into episode 5, which is a really great episode. I'm a little biased. They're like all great episodes, but this one is it's fun. It's super fun. All right, I'm gonna go away. Here we go.
Computer, come online. Send out a micro-drone. Hover in front of the cave's entrance.
Entrance? What entrance?
You can't see it with your human eyes. It's there.
Oh. Right.
The cave door was more clearly outlined now. I did not see a lever or any type of interface to open it, though. But there were 2 symbols, one on each side of the door.
Wait. I recognize those symbols. No, just one. The one on the right. That's the symbol for human.
How do you know that?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
I honestly have no idea why I know what that symbol is. I don't recall reading it. I could be wrong.
You're not. It's from an ancient language we don't speak anymore.
Huh. What does the other symbol mean?
Vampire. Regal, I need to know how you found out about this cave.
It was a woman. She'd come to visit Clan Sora maybe 5 years ago? I don't remember her first name. But her last name was Terenzio.
I remember that visit. She's a representative of a powerful family. One who sits on the Milky Way Sector's Galactic Federation.
We never knew who she was, only that her visit brought about a lot of pomp and circumstance, and extra work for us.
Which begs the question, and no offense, but why was she talking to you?
She didn't. I was working, and she was touring the clan. When she saw me, she stared at me. She broke away from her entourage, came up to me and passed me the paper. She walked away as if she hadn't done anything. I got the hint.
The symbol on the paper stands for this cave, but how did you know that?
That same night, I had a dream. I saw myself looking at the paper, focusing on that symbol. As I did, the world changed. I saw the wilds. I saw the cave. I was suddenly inside the cave, and I saw humans. Free. But we were strong, too, like vampires are strong. But we weren't vampires. It's hard to explain.
Strange.
Very. But I kept having the dream. Not every night, but often, and it was always the same. It made me start thinking, what if it were true? And the more I thought that, the more I felt like it was true. I was being shown what humans could be. If I could just reach this cave.
This cave is a holy place to vampires. We were taught that our soul's memories live here. But we've been forbidden from going here.
Why? I mean, if it's true, if your people's memories are in that cave, why wouldn't you be allowed to access them?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Alexa, thank you for, well, everything.
From the sounds you were making, it wasn't solely my pleasure. But you're welcome, Rachel. He came forward with purpose, eliminated the space between us so he could kiss me. I liked him more than a little. I liked the way he framed my face, the care he took when he touched me. I liked that he felt like mine. We need to move. We don't have much time.
You're not telling me something. What is it?
Things are complicated. I'll explain later. But being out here could draw attention, and that's the last thing I want. We'll find out what's inside in return. Unless you wish to remain out here.
You wouldn't force me to return with you?
You wanted your freedom, Rachel. I gave it to you.
What if that's not all I want? I meant it, Alexa. Everything I said.
I know, Cave first, all right? Then you can decide. We can decide.
All right.
Put your headphones on, and let's begin. Pulled from the Tales of the Forgotten archives, we bring you Vampire Beginnings, Episode 5.
I don't see a way to open it.
Rachel, get down! She'd never been particularly good at stealth. How my mother got away with using Alicia as an assassin was beyond me. But I was thankful the loose rocks gave her position away. Because Rachel listened, for once. And the blast from her pulse weapon sailed harmlessly over his head and struck the cave wall instead.
Is someone attacking us?
Yes! Stay behind me.
Why? Who?
I'm being watched. I told you it's complicated. I pulled my sidearm. The wind picked up again and she was moving, trying to use the hills for cover. At most, she'd be able to reposition herself. Then, I could get to her.
It's a problem you came after me, isn't it? Is that why someone's shooting at us?
Later, Rachel. Be quiet. Please. Alicia could teleport herself small distances, and she cut off my words when she appeared in front of me. Her weapon aimed in my face, her finger on the trigger. I closed my gloved hand around the muzzle, absorbing the blast, shoved my weapon in her side, and rapidly pulled the trigger. I was mildly annoyed she'd come prepared, her suit protecting her as mine did. Hello, Alicia.
Conqueror.
Rachel, that silly, brave man, stopped listening to me, because of course he did, and with a rock in hand tried to get behind Alicia. Alicia teleported out of my grasp and instead moved behind him, locking her arm around his neck, pressing the muzzle of her weapon against his temple. Fear nearly stopped my heart, and my temper grew like wildfire.
Ugh, it's disgusting. I can smell you all over this human. When I rip out his throat, will I be able to taste you on him too?
If you don't let him go, I'm going
You'll
to—
what? Kill me? You won't because you're not good enough. And if you did, your mother would use my death to fuel her campaign against you. One that's already started. But don't worry, Alexa. She wanted you alive. Just not him.
She was going to pull the trigger. The panic that clawed at me stole my breath, but Rachel, was suddenly in motion. He dropped the rock, both his hands gripping Alicia's forearms around his throat. I thought it was in panic. So did Alicia. We were both wrong. He dropped his base, legs wide, bending forward as he did and flipped her over. She didn't expect it. To her credit, I didn't either. But that didn't stop my movement. I reached them in an instant, shoving Rachel away with one hand, my knee on Alicia's chest, my weapon in her face. I did not monologue to my enemies. I pulled the trigger.
Well, shit. It worked.
I exhaled sharply, letting out the fear, and looked at him, relieved and amused. Where did you learn that?
Your biography, chapter 18. You were training with angels in planet Heaven.
I didn't write it. But I have trained with angels, and I might have done that before.
Well, if I ever meet who did write it, I'll thank them.
You should. Let's go. We need to do this fast.
Will there be more like her? And was she right? Is this going to be a problem for you?
Maybe. To both. With a little luck, the Vugans will find her and remove the evidence she was here. We approached the cave entrance again. I could see the crevices, and the door was massive. No lever, though. No button. No control panel, just those symbols.
What if we touch them? Our symbols.
We can try. Just be cautious.
Do you think it's a trap?
I'm not sure. But life has taught me to be prepared for everything. We stood in front of the ancient symbols for our kind. With a thought, I retracted the glove on my suit and slowly pressed my palm against the symbol. Rhaegal did the same. At first, nothing happened. Then...
It worked!
So it did. He surprised me when he didn't rush in immediately. Instead, he came to my side, taking my hand in his own. Together, we passed through the entranceway. The inside of the cave was beautiful. Glowing crystals of all shapes and sizes everywhere. Along the floor, the walls, the towering ceiling, the whole cavern smelled of earth. Fresh, clean. And the feeling walking through this space was welcoming. There was a narrow path between the crystals on the ground, and as we rounded a corner, it opened up wider in a large circular chamber. In the center of the chamber was another unexpected sight. A structure, octahedron in shape, but with a space in the middle. The triangular top and bottom divided by what looked to be a dull crystal slab.
By the goddess. It's beautiful.
He wasn't wrong. I'd never seen anything like it. And that was saying something. We approached, slowly. As we got closer to the structure, the floor began to vibrate. I tightened my grip on Rhaegal's hand, ready to sprint out of the cave if necessary. I was surprised, yet again, when from 4 points around the octahedron, statues rose from slots in the floor. They were massive and carved out in great detail.
Who are they?
Look there. Nameplates on the front of the statues. The vampires were Taus and Nicolette. The humans, Amari and Kalrin. The names were familiar, but I could not place why.
Leaders of the Joint Council of Human and Vampire Affairs. Wait. What is this? Did humans and vampires work together?
You don't belong in here, Alexa.
Fuck. I hope she wouldn't come herself. Though, the fact she had belayed the importance of this cave. If my mother didn't want me in here, this was exactly where I needed to be.
If you didn't want people in here, you should have made a better lock.
Silence! On your knees!
He had no choice. Though he fought her, the way he'd fought me the first time we met. But he'd lost. I shot him an apologetic glance as he dropped to his knees, his body tense with defiance he could not muster, his eyes furious but also fearful. What are you hiding in here, Mother?
I am hiding nothing. It is the past and it has no bearing on the future.
I don't think that's true. I think vampires and humans stood equal on Nemoria. What changed? Did you find a way to take their power?
Power is always taken from those who are not strong or smart enough to keep it. This one, why is he important to you? What does he know about this cave?
You couldn't have found me so fast. Not without eyes close. Who told you I was here?
Alexa, You are so sloppy and stupid anyone could have found you. Freedom for a human? You've made it far too easy removing you from the council.
Someone told her. Boise? No, she never. But someone else. Who could have known? The answer came abruptly, and with it sadness and fury. Damn it, Isbay. What did you promise them, Mother? What lies did you tell them to turn them against me?
They picked the winning side. Slave, answer my question. How did you blackmail my daughter into setting you free?
You are no slave. Remember that. I briefly took my eyes off my mother to look at him. I dared not give him a command. Dual commands from a vampire would wreak havoc on a human mind. It would be beyond painful, and it could kill him.
I have a name. But I will answer your question because I want you to know. I never blackmail her.
I don't care what your name is. We'll do this elsewhere. Bring him, Alexa. We're leaving.
No. I will uncover the secrets you have buried here. I will find out what you've taken from humans.
You have disobeyed me for the last time. You will do as I say, or I will bury you both in this place.
I don't want to fight you, Mother, but I will.
What a waste of my life you've been, daughter.
She lunged at me, her hands claws that swiped at my gun belt, cutting it from my hip, putting that particular weapon out of reach. Her next swipe came at my chest, my face. I backed up, dodging her swipes, blocking them when she got too close, pushing her backwards again and again.
Alexa the Conqueror, you've killed so many. Why the hesitation now?
You are my mother!
This is why you'll never beat me, Alexa. I could make another one of you, easily. And perhaps my next offspring won't be a mistake.
You have no right to speak to her that way!
I have every right. Slave, pick up the gun and shoot yourself in the head.
You are no slave! I spared him a glance. I paid for it, but I needed to know he understood. Yes, vampires could compel humans. But for a clever human, phrasing could be a loophole. He didn't move. He remained on his knees, a vein in his forehead visible, struggling to disobey her. It was working, but my attention to him cost me. My mother's next swipe cut across my chest, ripping easily through the defenses of my suit to skin underneath. Most of the armor we used had a weakness. Other vampires. It was done on purpose. A design flaw I mentally cursed now. Don't make me do this!
I make you do nothing. Surrender and die together. I'll make it quick just for you, daughter.
Her claws came at me again, and I grabbed her wrist, staring into her eyes. I saw her then, as maybe I hadn't wanted to see her before. I'd never been immune to her cruelty, but I thought, for me, it was because she loved me. That maybe she was cruel to be kind, but there was no love in her eyes. Just a dark void of anger. Nothing lived there. But Valoria, the revelation hurt. The claws of her opposite hand dug into my side. Pain excruciating. I had no choice. I did not let go of the wrist I held. Instead, I used my shape-shifting ability, increasing my strength, not my form. I watched the coldness in her eyes transform into pain as my grip began cracking the bones in her. I pushed us forward, fast, and slammed her back into one of the human statues. She made an utter sound of rage and pain, pulling her claws out of my side and dug them again. My fangs came out. I used my opposite hand to grab the back of her hair. Goodbye, Valoria. You need only know I killed her. My mother. A title she never deserved. I let her go, grabbing hold of the statue to keep myself upright, searching for Rachel. I breathed out a sigh of relief as he ran towards me. It was good timing. I could no longer hold myself up. At least it wasn't sun poisoning.
I've got you. Here, bite me.
Won't help. I'll need a healer, I'm afraid.
Stay with me, Alexa.
Rachel, wait. You might not get another chance to come back here. Find out what you need to know.
Again, this woman. For just a brief moment, I looked at the cave. I did want to know the truth, but I wanted something else more. Computer, take us back to Alexa's house. Now! Fast! As fast as this thing can travel. First aid kit open and call Boise!
What trouble have you been getting?
You have to help us. Alexa's hurt.
What? What did you do, human?
It wasn't me. She fought her mother and...
Stop talking. How bad is it?
Bad. She won't stop bleeding. She said she'll need a healer.
Damn it, Alexa. Get her here. We'll be waiting, and stop the bleeding.
Tell me how. I know how to deal with whip cuts on humans, vampire bites, broken, but I don't know anything about this. I'm not a healer.
All right. Calm down. I'm going to walk you through it.
Thank you.
I'm not doing this for you. Listen up.
I bandaged and packed Alexa's wounds as best I could, with Boise's instructions. When we arrived at Alexa's home, Boise was waiting outside with 2 others I didn't know. They took Alexa away, and I wanted to follow. I needed to know she was all right. But Boise grabbed my arm and dragged me off in a different direction.
Talk. All of it. Every damn detail.
I told her everything. Well, I left out the part of Alexa and I sleeping together, but everything else.
Fucking Isbay. Wait here. Can I trust you to do that, or do I have to command you?
I'll wait. Boise, is she going to be all right? I need to know.
I don't know, Rachel, and that's the truth. Some vampires have the ability that their attacks stop our kind from healing, and Valoria could also shapeshift into poisonous reptiles. Sometimes when her human slaves upset her, she was known to bite them and inject them with poison from her fangs, so they died slowly.
By the goddess. That's barbaric.
No shit. Alexa was trying to change that, get rid of vampires like that, but you... Ugh. Just stay here.
The waiting was agonizing. It gave me too much time to think, and damn it, I thought too much. I was terrified for Alexa, but I couldn't think about that, because it made me feel so helpless, and by the goddess, I was tired, so very tired of feeling that way. I thought instead about what we'd learned in that cave, but there were more questions than answers. What if I'd done it a different way? I was so damn stubborn. What if I'd accepted what Alexa offered me in the beginning? I could have earned her trust. I could have convinced her to visit the cave on her own terms. When it was safe, I knew she was different. But I'd been so... Fuck! How is she?
Stable. She'll be all right.
Thank the goddess.
I don't like you, Rhaegal, but she likes you. Why? I have no idea. So here's what you need to know. Alexa is a sister to me, and I love her more than your tiny human emotions can comprehend. You put her life in danger again, I'll kill you and apologize to her later.
I... understood.
Wow. No smart-ass clapback?
Maybe tomorrow. But right now, I'm grateful. I care about her, Boise. And I want to help my kind. I do, but not recklessly. Not selfishly.
What changed?
Me.
Whatever. There's a spare bedroom down the hall. Do not wander. Get changed, something clean for once. I'm tired of smelling you. When she asks for you, if she asks for you, I'll let you know.
Understood. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Boise,
What?
you don't think I look good in this rag?
I'm going to kill you.
Maybe tomorrow?
Ugh.
Goddess bless the healers of my clan. They were talented. Take a tip from a conqueror if you're going to spend your life fighting. Make friends with those who spend their life healing. I was sitting near the window because I was a terrible patient, and I didn't want to be in bed. I stared at everything I built below. My thoughts were dark. I forced myself out of them as Boise entered the room.
You sure you want to do this now?
Yes. If I'm at full strength, I might not be able to control myself.
Oh, am I supposed to?
Let's hear why, at least.
Does it really matter?
It does to me.
Ugh, fine. Bring them in.
Hey, kids.
Why, Isbay?
It's complicated.
I've lived a long time. I can understand complicated.
Sure, but you can't understand humans.
Why can't I?
Because you've never been at the bottom. You were born into a life of privilege, Alexa. I'm not saying you haven't fought for things or that you don't have your own trauma. I'm saying you'll never know what it's like to be afraid.
Were you afraid of me, Isbay?
Sometimes. That's the stickler, isn't it? We give our lives to you. One night might be our last. You can't say it's never happened. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying freedom has a price.
Did you think my mother would treat you better? That you'd be less afraid of her?
No. I'm not stupid, Alexa. What I thought is that you were going to lose her.
Why?
Because what you want to change can't be changed. Vampires will never give up their power to be kinder to their food. It's a nice thought, it's just not realistic. Valoria was going to have her way. I just wanted to put myself in the best possible position when that happened. That's all. Nothing personal. I adore you. I really do. I just gotta look out for me.
Yes, I've killed humans. Yes, I've looked at them at times as nothing more than my next meal. But you were never just my food. You were my friend.
Trusting that is a big ask.
Do you think I'm so fickle?
No, I think you're a vampire. I think you're a council member. I think no matter how idealistic you want to pretend you are, we are pawns in this game you're playing. Treating us well is about keeping your food supply from revolting and, let's be real, healthy. Blood donation centers are about keeping your kind from running out of their food source. These are smart survival moves that have fuck all to do with how humans feel or what we want. Your motives are for your kind, not mine. I don't begrudge you for that, Alexa, but I'm not blind either.
What an ungrateful little shit you are.
Not ungrateful. Never that. I've lived a good life here, and I thank you for that. I'm just realistic.
Let me kill them, Alexa.
No. You were wrong, Isbay. My mother didn't win. She's dead.
Good for you. She sucked.
You don't get to do that anymore. You don't get to talk to me like we're friends. We are not friends, and it was my mistake thinking so. You will be released to the colony and no longer welcome here. You will be watched 24/7. Your every word and deed recorded and judged until I am convinced I can trust you to simply live among humans. If I get so much as a hint you're attempting to betray me again, I'll let Boise do what she wants with you.
Fair. For what it's worth, I am glad I was wrong about Valoria.
Get them out of here.
Uso, come get this one. I'm sick of looking at them. I've seen that face before. Rest, Alexa. We'll figure everything out tomorrow night.
You're right. Of course.
He's waiting for you.
Send him home.
You sure?
Do you suddenly want him here?
You know I don't. But what do you want, Alexa?
Something that might be unrealistic. Or maybe not. I can't right now. Send him home. Please.
I'll take care of it. Rest. Get out. And stay out of trouble, Regal. I mean it.
I've had enough trouble for a while, that's for certain. Can I write to her?
You have your tablet. There's
Not like that. On paper. Like an old-fashioned letter. Would it be terribly hard to get?
Why do you want this?
Because it will feel more personal than the tablet.
Have you always been such a pain in the ass?
Probably.
No promises. Get out.
Bye, Boise. So there I was, standing on the street of one of the most free human colonies on Nemoria. I had 1,000 questions in my head. My heart ached, as silly as that sounded, because where I wanted to be for the first time in my life was next to a vampire. A vampire that didn't want to see me. But that was all right, because I had a plan. And this time, it was a good one.
I hope you've enjoyed listening to Vampire Beginnings. Please remember to subscribe, leave us a review, drop us a comment, and share this episode.
Kel's sending me. Kel's sending me right now. All right. Let me
Tales
get
of the Forgotten Dog.
let me get this after show party set up. Stand by. Oh, y'all the best. Y'all the best. All right, Kels, Tara, you're invited to the after show. I'm going to grab some water very quickly, get my camera back on, and then turn this over to the incredible Mr. JV. Talk amongst yourselves. Tara's getting her mic set up. Lovely, lovely. Everything should be working according to plan. Theoretically. Theoretically. Hang on, we gotta hydrate. And we gotta talk about this. Get your hydration. All right, was that up? I can't hear you. I can't hear. We gotta get JV situated. It's true. You can't be thirsty. Regal's thirsty. We can't be thirsty. Only Regal's allowed to be thirsty. Alex is turning his cam on?
Howdy.
What? That's awesome. Heck yeah. How's Alex today?
Oh, I had a great day.
That's awesome.
Of course I did. You know what I did.
Yeah, you got to draw some kick-ass artwork. That's awesome.
Still working on it.
Yes, I'm excited. JV's fighting with his mic. This is what happens when you do live shows. This is true. This just live show life. It's fine.
He's got a much nicer mic than me.
He does. I know. We're trying to get JV to do more professional voice acting. It's great. I need.
You both got nicer mics than me. I need to get one of those actual mics.
You sound good. Your headset sounds good.
I sound all right for like a 12-year-old headset.
Yeah. Was it a Logitech? Logitech.
Yep.
I feel like I had that mic at some point. That exact headset mic. Hell yeah. Kels, at some point you've got to.
Can you hear me now?
I absolutely can hear you now. Hey.
Okay, now I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you laughing.
My
Oh,
mic,
now I can.
yeah, my mic like never. It's like just doesn't pick up like some of the high pitches, which is funny. Yeah, Kels, you have to mock Rhaegal now. I feel like you need to, like, for the membership, you just like write Rhaegal's letter to Alexa, but then you also have to voice act it out in Rhaegal's voice and just mock him the whole time.
Okay.
Is it working? Is everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, JV's here. Welcome, JV. I'm going to turn everything over to you. How is JV?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Just coming off I think a really intriguing episode of Vampire Beginnings. We found out some lore. We got some action. Got a couple of deaths and a betrayal. All in one episode. Crystal, you crazy person. just giving us everything all at once. So I want to start with you.
Okay.
Because this is we knew something was in the cave. We didn't know what it was. Kind of first suspicions are, hey, Rhaegal can read something that he's never seen before.
Right.
When you decided that, hey, this is where the story was gonna go, and I think the biggest thing is Valoria knew about it. And so she may have had a hand in disbanding this council. So what was your thought process going in to kind of writing this scene where you have just a major fight and you also have the revelation that, hey, everything that Rhaegal's actually been fighting for existed well before he was alive?
Yeah. I feel like this was a good moment for poor Rhaegal. I mean, like, because we've been clowning him for 4 episodes. We'll probably keep clowning him because it's Rhaegal. But he really like he kind of said at the beginning that, like, no, there's something there. Like, we can be more. And now he's kind of getting that validation. And so that was really, there was a couple of goals with this scene. You know, Rhaegal's getting this validation that what he thought was true. But this is coming right off of him, like, expressing all these feelings to Alexa. So how much does this moment really mean to him right now? So we'll find that out later. Like, what's the weight of that? And poor Alexa is coming to this realization that her mom really never fucking loved her at all. Like, not at all. Like,
she says, I could make another one of you. Just basically just like that.
Right. So she's not having. So there's definitely a lot. And I kind of wanted there to be those layers, because then next episode we can delve more into the lore. But first there had to be something there that was going to stop Alexa and Rhaegal from getting the information, like, too easily. Like, Alex, you're a GM. You know, you can't let them open the chest immediately. They gotta do a little bit more first. So
yeah.
That
the roles were on display, though. The last episode gets his ass kicked by a Vugan. Next episode, I'm flipping a vampire.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Quite a turn of events for him, right?
Right. He had to. I like sidekicks that are not completely useless, and I like that Rhaegal, even though he is, like, the weakest link when it comes to, like, the world of vampires, does what he can. Like, at least he's not just that. You know, like, your significant other is in a fight, and you're just standing there like, you got this. You know, like, like, he tries.
So, Alex, what did you think of the? I think kind of the bigger betrayal, because there is the betrayal of knowing that your mom is like, fuck you,
Oh,
and then there's
yeah.
also the betrayal of like an actual true friend, who I think has some fair points and some reason.
Yeah,
But what did you think of
yeah.
that betrayal?
Well, the I yeah. Okay, ordered it. All right. The previous episode, we do get Isbay talking to Alexa's mother, but her finding out in this episode and Isbay explaining it. The whole time she's explaining it, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, she's not wrong, and
Right.
it's interesting that it it wasn't just like I will do this if you betray my daughter. It was Isbay taking in the full thing and knowing what she was getting into. That made it a little more real for me. I thought it was well written.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, I think Isbay's betrayal is also, it's warranted in a way that you would never want your friend to betray you, but the question is, can we actually be friends if you are lording all this power over me?
Right.
Right? If I'm your
Right.
slave, then can we actually be friends? Or is this a relationship where you think we're friends and I'm saying, well, in the back of my mind, you're really nice to me, but you're still imprisoning me. You're still my warden, right?
Right.
And so she has some pretty good points, kind of along the same lines that Regal has. She's just much smarter than Regal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So first of all,
Calculated risk.
Isbay, they, them. So yeah. And
Sorry.
yeah, no, no
Mhm.
worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah, no, Isbay, they, them. And yeah, I wanted that to really kind of display the dynamics here. And again, we clowned Regal a lot when he got to Alexa's colony and was so mad because we was like, hot showers, free food, fuck that, sign me up. But it's a cage. It's a nice cage, but it's still a cage. And Isbay
Right.
knows that. Like, Isbay is not like, and this is kind of where Alexa had those blinders, where Alexa really was on the, well, if I'm just nice to them, they'll be on my side type train, because it's fair for her to think that, because like Isbay said, she was born into this life of privilege. She will never know what it's
Right.
I can't say never, but she has not yet known what it's like not to be the top predator in the room. Like, she just doesn't know what that like. She's got no frame of reference. So for her, Alexa's heartbroken. Like, literally, poor Alexa is heartbroken, and we can feel bad for her because genuinely she never would have, like, she'd have ate Isbay's friend, but she wouldn't have ate Isbay. So it was like, it's kind of like one of those, and she's like, well, what's wrong with that? And Isbay's like, bruh.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
power imbalance that's in a lot of relationships, especially a lot of work relationships, where, hey, can we, the only way for us to really know if we're friends is for us not to have this power imbalance
Right.
and see what our relationship really is. And Isbay is aware, I'm not free. My
Right.
people aren't free. We're in a gilded cage, but it's a
Right.
cage.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just a really great way to speak to that dynamic. I think Tara's in the house.
Hell yeah.
What's up?
Hell yeah. What up, T?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm going to turn you up a little
I
bit.
can hear you.
Turn you up. You good? Talk again, Tara?
Hello.
Perfect.
Hi.
Hi.
So Tara, I gotta know, what are you feeling coming out of episode 5, going into episode 6? We got a lot of things at stake here.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot going on. Poor Alexa. She's so naive.
Which is wild to
So,
say for like a 2,000-year-old vampire to hold this
I
level of naivety,
know.
right? Isn't that wild?
I know. But you know what? You know what? If anyone's ever watched the originals, outside of the stuff that supposedly happened behind the scenes, but if you look at Klaus Michelson, he's a 1,000-year-old vampire who has really bad daddy issues. And it's like, dude,
True.
like literally, he is driven. His damage is that he is driven by his father. Now, for good reason. Like there was a lot of stuff that happened, but it's like, dude, you've had 1,000 years, okay? You've had 1,000 years. Like,
Right.
did you ever go to therapy?
Right.
I mean, did you ever try it?
Right.
At least, did you? I think he did. He did do art and stuff like that. So similarly with Alexa, but it really just goes to show that when you exist in an insular kind of world, because just as Rhaegal, he was a slave. Now his lifespan is it's nothing compared to what Alexa's is. Um, but all he knew was this tiny little world, and not just him but all the humans. This is what they knew. And so for Alexa, it's the same thing. This is what she knew. It's like, oh, we're the vampires. And actually, just thinking about it now, it's really interesting to see how Alexa also wanted to do things a different way, and how the humans and vampires related with one another. Rhaegal also wanted to do things a different way. So it's interesting to see where their mindsets were, from that standpoint. But yeah, she's going through it. I mean, her mom, her friend, quote unquote friend. I think it's just, this is probably the first time she's had a lot of like soul searching recently, because you got little bratty Rhaegal saying no. She's like, wait, what? No, to me. And then now she also has this, is coming to the realization like, wow, my mom actually never loved me. So I don't know, like at some point as we're growing up, our parents or guardians, whomever it is, our caretakers, we sometimes think, oh, either they really do care about me, or no, they don't care about me. And after 2,000 years, this is the first time where she's like, oh, wow, I thought this entire time that she at least maybe cared a little bit, and she did not. Like, that is a lot to deal with. That's a lot of memories to have,
Right.
to have flashing through your mind, and realizing I was just a useful tool for this person. So that's a lot. And then additionally, uh, the situation with Isbay is, coming to terms with, oh wow, like that's right. Um, we there is a power imbalance, and so what Isbay and what Rhaegal are saying are very similar. Rhaegal's like, no, I want to be your equal. I don't want to be this. I want to be
Right.
your equal, because if I'm not, then it's not going to be the same. There's going to be this difference between us, and I don't want that. If you're going to have me, you're going to have me with me by your side, and not some little peon or whatever. So there's a lot of reckoning. I'm really excited to know a little bit more about the cave. What's going on with that? We got the Terenzio name drop going on. Like,
That's
and
always
Alexa,
my favorite thing when it happens. Watch out for it.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be there somewhere.
and Alexa was like, no offense, but why did she talk to you? That was so funny.
She's trying not to be rude. She's like, okay, but listen, the fuck?
Like, why you? Like,
Right.
who are you? So yeah, so there's definitely a lot. There's a lot going on, so I'm excited.
Nice. And Crystal, I want to ask you specifically about Gloria and her relationship to Alexa. Was there ever a point
Mm-hmm.
where Alexa was anything but a means to an end? Is it just kind of looking in, it feels like that was most of it. You know, she
Mm-hmm.
raised this daughter that could ultimately go out
Mm-hmm.
and be a conqueror,
Yeah.
and she was planning to benefit from that. Was there ever a point where she was anything other than a tool to Valoria?
I think so. I think in a very unhealthy way, because Valoria is very much kind of like a sociopath, psychopath. I'm sure that's the proper term there. But I think in a way, like maybe in the beginning. But to Valoria's credit, she raised Alexa to be a badass. Like Valoria herself was somebody who had a lot of power. She didn't have a lot of physical strength. That wasn't her thing. But Valoria is very much a game player, right? She's the Palpatine. She's like a manipulator. She's that, right? And then she has this daughter, and her daughter could be like, her hammer. And that's what she wanted Alexa to be. But the problem is when you raise a strong child, you get a strong child. And Alexa grew up, and there you go. And Alexa grew up very much to be her own person. And there was a kindness in Alexa that was not present in Valoria. I mean, Alexa may have like severe blinders on when it comes to her privilege. And not to say that she hasn't treated humans badly, but she does care. Like, she is not ever cruel just to be cruel, and she actually, she's not really a fan of it. She's like, yeah, we eat them, but you don't have to torture it. Like, you could just eat it. Like, what the fuck? So it's like, so there's a whole kind of different dichotomy there. But I mean, the moment that Valoria realized that Alexa was not going to be a faithful little tool, whatever affection was there was just gone. And now it was just a matter of, well, now I have this daughter who clearly loves me. So how can I manipulate that and use that to my advantage throughout her life? So I do think there was a point where Valoria just completely tapped out of any emotion to Alexa and looked at her just like another pawn on her chessboard. And I imagine at some points that there were just moments that Valoria would be kind just because she knew Alexa thought, hey, mom loves me. And she just used that to her advantage. But yeah, Valoria sucks. She just sucks.
Not great.
Yeah, she just fucking sucks, man.
She's not great.
Shout out to Melissa to playing such another great fucking character so fucking well. Because I needed a voice actress who could match Maganda's gravitas, and them in scenes together are just so good.
Oh, it worked. It worked incredibly well. Did they record those together?
Yes, they got to the fight scene. They got to record that together.
Awesome.
Which was awesome. Yeah.
So what was that like?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Kind of watching them work.
That was fantastic. No, wait, it wasn't the fight scene. It was the scene last episode where they're in the house together. That was fantastic. They just read off of each other so well. It was just great. And hilarious. I think because Melissa's a mom, I didn't have to really Melissa's like a great mom, so I don't know where mean Melissa mom came from, but I didn't have to really coach her at all with like some of nothing. Like it was great. I gave Maganda like some notes because I didn't realize we were triggering poor Maganda, because Maganda's like, oh, I've got a Valor in my life. I hate it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. we gave I gave Maganda like a couple of notes just to kind of remind her that there's, even for Alexa's badassery, there is that this is my mom kind of like, there's that, this is Valoria and this is Alexa in her eyes, in kind of Alexa's eyes. And I think you hear that heartbreak where, she's like, oh my God, my mom's really trying to fucking kill me. Like, are we for real right now? Because technically that fight didn't have to go on as long as it did, because Alexa really is the stronger vampire, but she just couldn't do it. Like, she was like,
yeah, she clearly did not want to do this,
which is this wild, because Valoria was cards out, like, I don't give a fuck, and she was still like, parents will fuck you up, man.
They will. They will. Absolutely.
Does Alexa have a crazy uncle?
I don't know. There's time. There's time. She might. She might.
She might could have a crazy uncle. It's a possibility.
It's definitely a possibility. Yeah. Yeah, but that was a good culmination.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it's tragic. But Alexa made a choice.
Yeah.
And the choice, it seems like the choice in that moment was Regal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wasn't willing to sacrifice.
Right.
Which leads me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Crystal to answer this because she knows.
Oh, okay.
She is the keeper of secrets.
Okay.
But for anybody else, I've noticed throughout the 5 episodes that our guy Regal, as misguided as he is, and the certain amount of idiocy, but also bravery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to shortchange him, but he seems to be almost falling into these places where it's like he's a human, but there's something very special about him, even though even though he's kind of unassuming. There's nothing that's really that different. But he seems to find himself in the middle of action, and I don't think it's just because he's an idiot. Do you guys think that there is something specifically special about Regal? And again, him being able to kind of understand a language, or at least read a language he's never seen. Is there something special about him specifically? What do you guys think?
Well, I wasn't thinking about this until you asked the question, but I don't know. Could he possibly be either a descendant of someone, a human from the council, or could he be a preserved member of the council himself, which is why he can read that?
Oh, so you're saying like he potentially was somebody he's a human, but he's managed maybe in an unknown way to survive this time, and that's why he knows this. This is knowledge that he has from actually being present while the council was there.
Yeah, real tinfoil hat stuff.
I like it.
That's a really good theory. Yeah, that's a really good theory, and that I mean, I won't know. I don't know, but it makes me think. It makes me think about why the Terenzio went to him specifically. Like, I mean, that would answer that question. Is like, oh, she knows like who this guy is. Like, yes, that's why she went to him specifically. So that would be I think that's a great theory on that.
Interesting. I'm just looking at Crystal's face.
I know.
Just to see,
I'm actually
just to see if I could get anything.
Here's what's funny to me. Here's what's funny to me is that Alex, I think, as a big fan of the Sonarchy novels, knows more than he thinks he knows.
Ooh.
Oh,
oh, look at Alex. He kind of just popped right now. It's like, oh,
yeah.
So Alex, you hold some hold some information here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going to go back and look at the Snarky novels and be like, what information do I know?
I'm in the process of rereading them because it had been so long that I'd forgotten some things. So I don't know. Maybe I'll find something and go, oh, he's right there. it'll all come together.
That's awesome.
You have to keep us posted on that. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
You have to keep us posted on it because
spoiler free.
Now you've been given essentially a task. You know some things that you don't know that you know.
Yeah.
I love that.
On top of that, I'm still trying to figure out how one episode of what was the show is linked to how the second episode of Don't Look is linked to an episode of Fairy Tale. I still don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Listen. I was in Fairy Tale and I couldn't figure it out. So
you don't.
That
you,
one.
You know what
was,
it is now, Tara?
I know now
Mhm.
because when Crystal
Oh.
pointed it out, I was like, that does not count whatsoever. So
that one is like internet nerds watching Fringe for the 10th time with a magnifying glass, kind of like you'd
It
like
doesn't
really have to pay attention to stuff. The kind of like Easter egg that links Synarchy to this particular episode of Vampire and episode 7. It'll be 7 of it. It'll be a lot more
Okay.
blatant in episode 7, but right now it's subtle. So anybody who has read, you only have to read the first book, the first Synarchy book, would probably go that Leonardo DiCaprio meme at a certain scene, be like with the pointing, with the sit up real straight and point.
I do remember more of the first book.
Yeah.
So I'll take a notebook to the cafe and just start writing down my conspiracy theories.
Love it. Let's go. Let's go.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. It's such a rich world, and there's Easter eggs and so many things going on. You're gonna have to be our guide, Alex. You're gonna have to give us some hints once you figure it out. Because I'm confident you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Be the crazy man in the corner with a highlighter.
Sometimes those guys aren't wrong.
That's right.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense now. I see it. You see it?
Right.
Running around from table to table. You see it? I found it.
I can't wait to get the
Yeah.
DM now. Alex is gonna be like, "You son of a bitch! Are you going to blah 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 blah?"
With your question, JV, it made me think a little bit about Halo, the game. Well, sadly, I don't know if we'll find out from the show. I hope somebody else picks up the show.
Right.
But from the games, I don't know the games and the novels and all that stuff. I don't know all of the lore, but one of the reasons why Master Chief was so special is because of something with like prior humans. So it was like a genetic, some kind of thing that was passed down through his genetic code, as far as I know. I'm sure Halo people will correct me, but it's something like that. So, I think that could also be possible. But I'm not sure. I like Alex's idea better. Some kind of descendant.
That's a pretty good theory. That's a pretty good theory. I like the idea that he's a descendant. I like it even better that he might have just been around, and maybe, vampires have some tricks, right? They can glamour you. They can. I'm assuming if they can make you do things, they can make you forget things too.
Right.
So maybe we should keep that in mind.
I think Alex is gonna lose. I'm just remembering something. Alex is gonna lose his mind at the big name drop in episode 6. Because I'm gonna apologize right now for the cliffhanger that episode 6 ends on. But there's quite a big name drop that Alex is gonna be like running in here with his Synarchy book. Like, listen here, Crystal.
Nice. So, I've never done this on Discord before. Do we have any questions? And if so, how do I see them? Because I don't see.
Yeah, no.
anything other than our
We're just
faces.
looking at the live chat room. Anybody in chat got any questions? Bander, you got any theories? Kels, you got any theories? I think Kels was gonna try to come in, but she might be doing some stuff, so that's fine. Shout out to Kels. Shout out to Kels and Gerald. So if you guys have any questions for us, let us know. It's in the YouTube channel. You're fine, JV. You're not doing anything wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alexa needs a trailer park wine aunt, not a crazy uncle.
She
In the
does.
chat.
She does need a trailer park. Why not? You know what? She's got a great BFF. Who, shout out to Tiani. God, Tiani's so good. Shout out to Tiani.
The last thing she says to Regal, I loved it.
Yeah, just the disgusted noises she makes with him.
Yeah, just get out of my sight. Go on.
Was that
Go ahead.
your direction to Tiani,
Yes.
or did she just like, okay, this is what Boise is thinking about this guy right now, because it doesn't. Does I should say, does Boise feel that way about all humans, or is it something particular about Regal that rubs her the wrong way?
I think I think that so first of all, there was some instruction on the noises, and then once I was like, give me a good just you're really disgusted with him right now, and then she killed it. So there was like oh my god, it was so good. Tiani's just ranks right. If anybody has ever played Dragon Age Inquisition and knows about Cassandra, her and fucking Cassandra could just stand next to each other and make disgusted noises all day, and I would just be here for it. But I think Boise is like Boise is a bit more practical. Alexa, much like Regal, is very kind of idealistic, right? Alexa could just leave it at, well, treat your humans good. Don't fucking abuse them, so they don't try to revolt or whatever. I'm tired of dealing with revolutions, and just call it a day. But Alexa wants to do more than that. Alexa's like, what if we, gave them a good life and this, that, and the other. So she's kind of progressive in that way. And she's very idealistic, because Isbay was like, there's no way what you're trying to do is going to fucking work. Like, people don't give up power, Alexa, like, LOL. And Alexa's like, no, they're going to do it. It's going to be fine. Like, her and Nico on the council, like, we can do this. But there is definitely this shifting. So, I mean, because Niku, JV, you played him. There was that conversation where Niku was telling her that, you do have support. Like, there are vampires who do think like Alexa.
Right.
And then you kind of got that old guard, that Valoria guard. So there's definitely like this clashing of ideas. And for Boise, honest to God, I don't think she particularly cares one way or another that much. I think she is pretty much like, this is my friend. I love my friend. I kind of love our life. I love kind of my status and things. So if she wants to go, all progressive and treat the humans nice, I fucking guess. Like that's kind of right. That's kind of where Boise's at. So yeah, I think with Regal, I think it's kind of one of those where you can tell that your best friend likes this guy, but you think the guy's kind of basic. So you're not quite sure why she likes the basic guy. So what do you
see in him?
Right. It's literally that. So it's just her job to just give him the hardest time.
She's being a dutiful friend. She's trying to keep the boundaries up.
Absolutely.
Like, are you really gonna date this dumbass?
Literally Alexa. I mean, literally Boise. Literally how Boise is feeling right now. She is literally like, I mean, are we really doing this? Like, really, the human? You've been alive for 2,000 years, and that's the guy we're throwing our lot in with now. She's like, why are you slumming?
She has a point. She does have a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
So just a very nerdy question.
Sure.
From me.
Yeah.
How long if you're bitten or healed by a vampire, do you keep that power? Does it vary from human to human?
Sure.
'Cause we know that he has some power, right? He was able to fight off, but he's not going to keep that forever. So is there, like, in universe, it doesn't matter by vampire, does it matter by human?
That is a question that I've got to sit and think about very carefully, because that particular piece of lore will be very important to the continuation of this story in the future. So yeah, like I want to say, just kind of thinking off the cuff, that it would probably work a lot maybe in the beginning, probably like right now where we are in vampire history. Kind of like just taking any kind of drug. It varies how long it stays into your system. How strong it is, how strong the vampire, abilities that you drank from, and this, that, and the other. But that particular ability that vampires have to give humans is going to be very important in the future for reasons that will be made clear very soon.
Interesting. Okay, nice little tease. I like that.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell us about, without spoiling anything? What can you tell us about episode 6. This is the penultimate episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We have some new information. It seems like people are going to have to make some really critical choices.
Mm-hmm.
What can we expect from episode 6? What's the vibe?
Yeah, what is there is a lot of questions are answered, and I think more questions kind of come on top of that. So in episode 6, you can look forward to finding out what that history was in the cave. And there is some speculation on who knew, who didn't know. You'll get to kind of, there'll be a reckoning with that. Will there be another appearance of the Vampire Council? I know Tara was curious about them, so they make another appearance. And there is, I think my favorite part of that episode is the cliffhanger, because we kind of, the present moment, I can say, so the present moment that we all think we have an idea of, I'm going to, I guess, expose another layer of it is a good, I think is a good word. Because I think that everyone has, with those flashbacks with Alexa and Rhaegal being together, like, I think everybody has this picture in their mind of what's going on during that time. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that you're wrong.
Oh, I just realized this episode didn't end with them writing the book scene.
I was just thinking about that.
Are we in the present now?
Not yet. We're getting there.
Oh.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. We're getting very close. We're getting very close. Yeah.
Alexa had to take a nap.
Yeah. It just, you know what? It's not like too like there's a reason for it. More like because of everything that happened, it just didn't feel right to end that episode with Alexa snuggling Rhaegal again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like we needed to. Our girl needs a minute because she got
sit in the moment. She needs to sit in the moment. We as an audience need to sit in that moment as well.
Sure.
To kind of take in everything that's happened.
Absolutely. So it just didn't need it. But yeah, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot of, it's a lot of lore dropping. It's a lot of information that you guys get in episode 6. It's a lot of episode 4 we was all sexy, and then episode 6 this was all action. So now we're kind of get back into the story and kind of wrapping up those pieces. But then also we're going to raise the stakes in episode 6 really high. So there is a problem that is coming to Nemoria that they're going to have to deal with. So and I've said this before, so I just, there is, it's really fun because there's like these two sides, like you said, JB. There's Rhaegal, who wants change in one way, right? He wants humans to kind of, regardless of what his reasons are, they're kind of selfish. They're really not for his people. He's like, I saw this girl, she's really hot, I don't want to be no bitch. And this woman gave me this note that told me if I go to this cave, I won't be a bitch no more. And if I hang out my people too, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's got like selfish reasons, which I think is fair. It's like super fair. So, Rhaegal has what he wants, and then Alexa has what she wants. And there's going to be this fun, I think, attempt at a merger of is there a way that we can merge these ideas, and what is that going to cost? And, is it like a fair cost too? Because Alexa and Boise have a very, I feel like, serious heart-to-heart about, like, when we want to change things in a society, I think it's important that we are very clear about our own motives, but also the consequences of that change. Because, especially when it comes to power dynamics, those things don't usually come easy. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there, so I mean, so some hard questions get asked about like, like why are we doing this? Is it worth it? I mean, Rhaegal's having that moment too, where he was just gun ho. He was like, "Yo, just let all the humans go," and she was like, "Okay, sure. Here's what happens." So there was like that, that realism moment that had to happen.
There's a very real consequence to
Right.
whatever decision is going to be made here.
Exactly. Exactly that. But there's also something coming that's going to force it. So we'll see how they handle that. Because the stakes, yeah, I mean, everything's been like, it's been pretty good. We got, obviously, we got some intrigue, we got some lore, we got some drama. But now there's a fucking problem coming. There's a problem.
I mean, there's a death of an elder.
That's a problem.
That is gonna have to be addressed, right?
Yep.
This just isn't some run of the mill vampire. This is somebody who has a substantial amount of power.
Sure.
That maybe, I'm guessing, leaves a bit of a power vacuum.
Sure.
On the Moria. So yeah, I'm so stoked for what happens next.
Yeah.
It's just such a fun world. And I love you, but I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah,
I
appreciate that.
tell you it sucks.
Please don't ever let me put out something. I'll be so mad at y'all.
But this has just been very intriguing, and I think some of the questions that it asks at a bigger scale, especially when we are talking about power and balance, we are talking about what does it mean to be free.
Sure.
Isbay's interpretation of freedom might be a little bit different than Rhaegal's, but they are essentially saying they want to be free, but they also know how good they have it.
Right.
And Rhaegal has been abused.
Yeah.
He's not quite there yet.
Sure.
Will we see more of Isbay?
Not in
or
episode.
Is their story done?
Yeah, not in episode 6. Not in episode 6.
Okay.
We will probably see more. Maybe more of Isbay in episode 7. We'll see. No, we'll see on that one. I'm still in the writing phase of episode 7. But yeah, no, it's, what, it was fun to put those kind of serious questions inside of this really like campy, lovely kind of romance story as well too, because it's, I mean, I think it's fun to ask those questions because I mean, it always came, when I was writing some of these scenes, I remember it was this, there's this really silly rom-com of a / political movie with like Michael Douglas and Annette Bening, I think, where he's like the U.S. president, and he gives a speech at like the end. It's like a whole big fucking deal. He's like the world's best president, and but I remember always in his speech he talked about how when you're teaching about freedom, one of the great examples that I thought he gave was that the symbol of your country can't just be a flag. If you're really saying that you're a free country, it has to be your citizens' right to burn that flag in protest. Otherwise, what is freedom? And yeah, and like so here on Moria, on this fictional planet where we've got vampires and humans, like they're asking kind of those same questions. You're like, it's almost like a Matrix question too, where you've got the guy who's like, I just want to pretend that I'm eating this fucking steak because it tastes really good and I don't give a fuck. But then you might have other humans who are like, my life isn't great though. I'm in like a clan Slora. I'm in a clan Valoria. If I could get free, I'd fucking run from the hills. So I don't know how they're going to have to figure out how to bring a lot of hurt and ideology and mediation together if they want to survive what's coming. So I don't envy them that.
Rough times ahead.
Yeah.
Interesting times ahead. The movie is The American President.
Thank you.
Just looked it up.
Thank you. Yeah.
I've seen that movie like 15 times. On
I
TV.
like that movie. It's a great movie. It's if you ever just want to pretend one day that it's a great movie.
Just a single president just out here dating, living life.
Why? You know what? Great. Love it.
So Tara, Alex, you guys have anything else? Any theories? Any questions?
What about those young vampires?
What about them?
That's what I want to know. What about them? What's going on?
With
What's
the
going on with them? Are we going to find out if their chaos and their recklessness is related to something else?
Mhm.
Or
Do you
what's going
want
on?
me to answer that, or do you want to wait?
Whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't
mean-
want you to necessarily spoil anything.
Well-
If you want to tell me later, you can. But here,
Uh-huh.
you don't want to spoil anything.
Alex, do you want to know? Do you want to know? Giving y'all my DM face.
Kinda now.
Yeah. Well, okay. So interestingly enough, this is like, I feel like my players do this to me sometimes in tabletop. Well, they'll make a big deal out of something that's not, and I kind of want it to be a big deal just so they can have fun with it. So the thing with the younger vampires is more just speaking more towards how reckless some of the other vampires have gotten, and kind of speaking towards what Alexa is fighting against. So it's not so much nefariousness as much as just kind of just stupidity. Like, it's kind of one of those where this kind of idea that absolute power corrupts. So if, when you're always on top, sometimes you just stop taking care of the things that you have because you just think that you're always going to have them. So, Alexa, being Valoria's child, is very disciplined. I mean, even Valoria, who treats her humans like shit, her vampires aren't fucking shit up. So, I mean, it's like, like Valoria said, like, the council recognized that it was a problem. I don't know that they necessarily were going to, like, rein in any of those younger vampires, but they're like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. Our studies show that if we keep doing this, we'll run out of the humans. So we'll just breed them. Like the worst, cruelest thing. We'll just fucking breed them. It'll be fine. And then the young vampires can do whatever they want. So it really was just speaking to kind of how there's this whole side of vampires that are very callous and just don't give a fuck. They just don't give a fuck. So if you're in one of the nicer colonies, you're really lucky. You're really lucky.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I wanted it to be, when you said that, though, I was like, do I have time to go back and write that in?
Reminds me of like young OGs on the street, like trying to get their stripes.
Yeah.
And
Right.
OGs are like, yo, you gotta chill. Like,
Right.
There's rules to the game.
Right.
And the young vampires are like, there's rules to your game.
Literally
not
that.
ours.
Right. Literally that. Yeah. Literally that. So, yeah, there are a lot of vampires who just look at humans as... But we have learned that it was not always that way. So what happened?
That's what we gotta find out. We're gonna find out in these next couple of episodes.
Space
People are gonna
vampires.
be People are being challenged. People are dying. Assassination attempts. All of it. It's all happening.
Yeah,
I
man.
literally wrote before we wrap up. I literally just want to read you a couple of notes.
I love this.
that I wrote in what you'll know is a very JV way. Vampires and humans together. A joint council. Valeria is here now. What? Valeria knew the whole damn time? And then in all caps, Isbay betrayed Alexa. So I was on a roller coaster ride.
I need these to be like little short spots, It's
Right.
got, like, the way that you read them reminded me of something from Borderlands. Like when you get near one of the kiosks or something to buy something, they just have these random phrases spurting out. Like, I need you to record that, and then I need that to be like an ad somewhere.
Because that's what was happening in my mind. Like, in my mind, I was saying that, and I was like, I don't want to be too loud. Because I'm trying to listen to this, but in my mind I was like, what? Oh no. We have some real drama right here. Love it.
I love it. love it. That's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Dramatique.
No, this is great. I could talk. I mean, this is one of my. The more I do, the more I dive into this world, the more I'm like really enjoying it and the lore and the world building around it. It's just fun. It's just so fun. And I will also say, I'm glad because I'm having a fucking blast. That they are now Isbay the Exiled. It's true. I mean, Isbay got exiled to like a 1-bedroom apartment across the street from a fucking free cafe. So real bad exile.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's not too bad of an exile.
Mm-mm.
You know, they got to be watched, but
right,
you didn't kill me.
Right.
There's a plus.
Right.
But also, you got to imagine this 1 bedroom is probably the best bedroom you've ever come across. It probably has like a gilded faucet, and just a chandelier,
right?
A TV that's hidden behind, like it's recessed into the wall, hidden. Behind
just everything's just bougie as shit. Yeah.
And coffee.
The best coffee. I mean, maybe the chocolate truffles down, where everybody else isn't as good as the ones. Yeah, maybe Isbay isn't getting the good chocolate truffles anymore. But like, it's like a little bit of a downgrade.
I think she lost her chocolate truffle privileges.
They definitely did.
I think that's
chocolate truffle privileges are
yeah,
gone.
No more.
They can't have any more.
No more chocolate truffles. No more orgies. You gotta go. That's it. No more. Like
the orgies is tough. That's a tough beat for Isbay.
Right, right.
They love the orgy.
They got off easy. Should have made them live with Rhaegal. I know, right? Rhaegal got a roommate now.
He does have a stick up his ass. That would be that'd be punishment.
You not know how to put trash in the trash receptacle?
I know, right? Rhaegal definitely does not know how to use the 3 seashells. That's for sure.
Oh my god.
That is for sure. That is.
I'm just saying, my man Rhaegal's out here he's just trying to live. He don't know nothing.
He don't know.
He don't know nothing but suffering.
I know.
He just want to be free.
I know. What?
He want to be free, and he wants to hook up with his hot vampire partner. And
I can't. Right.
Who doesn't?
Right.
Who doesn't want those
You're
things?
right. You're exactly right.
My man is like, I want coffee, hot water, this hot vampire, and freedom.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I ride with that.
Right.
1,000%. Rhaegal being a dumb man. I know that guy. I am him. So,
there were I feel like I could write this really fun dissertation to Rhaegal, because when I was writing him, he just came out of nowhere, and I was like, where the fuck did you live in my head? Like, what the fuck? Like all my other characters going, who is this guy? I'm like, I don't fucking know. But there's something really beautiful about the two of them. It really, really, and I love, like, especially I love that scene. Like, I mean, Alexa really doesn't like have, really understand the power dynamic, because he refused to go get clean clothes. Facts though, he really should have went and got some fucking clean clothes.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You gonna go run out in the wilderness, you could at least got you like some sweatpants and some tennis shoes. But I digress. That's
how I know Rhaegal's white.
Right, but also like Boise, but Boise wasn't gonna wait for him to go, so he should have probably went when he had the chance, because Boise would have left his ass. Yeah. Boise would have been like, yeah, Alexa, I'll let him go. He's still running around in the sewers or some shit. But there was this beautiful moment where Alexa like tried to tell him like that as he was enough, which was, I think, a big deal coming for her. And I hope that he, takes it to heart, because I think a lot of times that we think that we're not good enough for somebody, that we have to go and find this level up or this power up to be, something more. And I think for Alexa, like, she was just letting him know that, like, listen, no, like, one of the reasons that she even gave this motherfucker the time of day was because he looked her deep in her orbital sockets and was like, you gonna let me go or what?
Challenged her in a way that she's
never
never challenged.
Never. Like 2,000 years, nobody looked at her and was like, like they're never. So I mean, we should clown Rhaegal because it's fun, but I think the reward that he gets for all of his nonsense, I think, is well deserved. Yeah. I always think that there is a reason for these types of love at first sight situations. I think if you kind of see somebody on the street and you have that moment where you're locking eyes and there's a connection there, I think there's a reason for it. And so I get to explore that in this story too, which is a lot of fun for me because I'm a big softie at heart, even though I do kill a lot of characters. I swear I'm a big softie.
Sometimes they got to get to dying.
I know, right? That's it.
That's why Isbay was such a surprise. I'm like, Crystal didn't kill somebody?
I know. Did you expect me to? Did you think Isbay was going to die?
I thought Isbay was biting the big one. I thought she was out of here. Or they were out of here, excuse me. I thought they were gone.
Wow.
I was 50-50. Like, I wasn't expecting it, but I wouldn't have been surprised.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, in a practical way, if you let them live, I have questions about Alexa if I'm riding with her. I'm like, oh, well, somebody betrayed you in a way that almost got you killed.
Right.
So that it does say a lot about Alexa's character.
Sure.
But it's interesting because I thought Isbay, I was like, I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, it's come to an end.
Right. Well, I think that maybe if Alexa hadn't visited that cave first, that Isbay might have died. I think that Alexa might have leaned more towards letting Boise like slit their throat. But now Alexa knows that there was a council of human and vampire affairs, and she's been alive 2,000 years. That's like she had no fucking idea. So there was this thing. So I think that was kind of in the back of her mind. So it might have been a little bit of a wait and see. And if you're Isbay's not a bad person to have on your side if you can trust that Isbay is on your side. But kind of now that all the cards are out on the table, maybe there's an opportunity to rebuild that relationship, revisit that relationship, something there. Because now there's where there was really a misunderstanding of what was actually like how two people felt before. Like now everybody's real clear about, how we all feel about things. So I don't think Alexa's going to be a problem, or Isbay's going to be a problem for Alexa. But yeah, if I was riding with Alexa too, I'd be like, I got to put like 8 spies on this because I don't trust them. I sure as fuck wouldn't.
Right.
So.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that perhaps, because I don't know if Alexa thinks in this kind of way, but Isbay clearly knows information. So Isbay could potentially be useful when some other shit hits the fan.
Sure.
Down the line. So, like that's the other thing. That might be another reason why Alexa is keeping Isbay alive. I think the main reason is because she does have that sentimental attachment to them. But I think also that, I don't know, maybe Valoria's little scheming mind maybe a little bit transferred to Alexa a little bit, and she's like, maybe they should not die right now.
Maybe we keep them right under our paw, so to speak. Yeah. Keep them where we can see them.
Keep your friends close, but right, yeah. Enemies closer. Isbay would have gotten a good dose of Rhaegal freedom, dumped them outside the gate with the clothes on their back. Yeah. That's fair. No,
that would have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
So all in all, I think they came out on the they came out pretty good considering just the kind of bigness the enormity of the betrayal, right?
Right.
They
Right,
came
right,
out
right.
pretty good. So, all right. Well, I have to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
and
But
I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave this world. I want to be on the Moria. I think I
know.
might.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seems like so cool and futuristic,
I
but
know.
also has vampires.
I know.
It's super fun.
Yeah, you
Um,
definitely want to be on the Moria now, not later. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh.
Don't be on the Moria.
Huh?
Mm.
Little. That's a tease, guys.
Yeah,
That's a tease.
that's a tease. That's a little bit of a tease. JV, thank you so much for hosting tonight. I know you got to dip out. JV also plays Niku, and you will get to hear him and Matt, hilariously, have a scene together next week, which is
My God.
fucking great. Yeah, Niku is a member of the council. The Matthew Dawson, creator of the Mortalverse, is also a member of the council. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that Matthew's vampire is Team Valoria, and Niku is Team Alexa. So,
Hardcore Team Alexa.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. So, this is going to be fun.
Well, thanks, Crystal, for allowing me to host.
Yes.
Thanks, Tara, for being here. Thanks for sharing the episode early. We love it. I will host for you anytime.
Love that.
I will do it for you anytime.
Love it.
I love this world, and we can't wait to see what happens next week. We're
I-
on pins and needles.
I believe we will have, according to the schedule that I put out, we will have Maganda and Tiani here next week, which is great. So,
Awesome.
yeah, JV, if you want to host again, you are absolutely invited. Maybe I'll get you and Delvin to host next week, and y'all could just go fucking ham, because there will be quite a bit to talk about.
Do you want me and Delvin to
Yes.
host? I mean,
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. And then we could just have Tara down here too, just like, Jesus Christ, what is happening? Because that's gold,
Tara.
baby.
Yeah, what you guys don't know is Tara sees me and Delvin shenanigans almost every day.
Oh my God.
So great. So great. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. I could just sit here and talk about Vampire forever. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Davey, you can go out. I'm going to just do the outro. Come back next week for Vampire Beginnings, episode 6. Tell your friends. Listen, don't forget to go and leave us a review on Spotify, on Apple, Good Pods, wherever you are listening to Vampire Beginnings. Please don't forget to leave us a review. Leave us a comment if it's working for you. We love your comments. We love to hear them. And I'll go through, and if we've got any new comments, I'll make sure to read them next week when we are here for episode 6. We have some fun plans in the works. I'm always like over here plotting. I'm like fucking Larissa and like fucking Legacy. But we're gonna start doing some utilize our YouTube channel a little bit more, do some more fun live streams. We'll have a whole day where the Tales Network is just live. We'll be co-working, we'll be gaming, and then we'll jump into some some cool audio drama stuff. So I've got to plan that out possibly next Tuesday. We'll just make an entire day of it where Tales is just live all day and just have fun that way and see because why not? Because we here and we just having fun. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye. Drop your theories. If you read Snarky and you know something, there's a spoiler channel for you. Good night, everybody.